Day, so let's go ahead and take a look at my top 10 comic picks for next week's new comic book day, November 22nd, 2023. If you like anything from DC Lunar, you're going to want to make sure that you get into your LCS or have them put it aside for you by next Tuesday, November 21st, 2023. Without further ado, let's get started. Things off at number 10 is a personal pick of mine, Addams Family, Charlotte's Web, number 1. My family and I really loved this movie, and here's a book based on it by IDW. And this is actually the cover B because it looks like their eyes are swooned, maybe under some type of love potion, which is probably why it's called Charlotte's Web, which is of course a play on Charlotte's Web. And I did want to show you the 1 for 10, which is this is the cover A version. Cover A is just this with the trade. And let's move on to number 9, and that is Harley Quinn, Black, White, and Redder. Number 5, it's strictly a cover by. This is the 1 for 25 David Nakayama variant. Beautiful cover here. And I love how they make it, in illustration, you can just tell that it's denim as opposed to, what is it, like spandex or whatever her costume normally is. Moving on. Already to number 8, we have Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 114. This is the cover F 1 for 50 variant. It's got the White Ranger and the Pink Ranger on it, and when they're together on anything, it's always going to be good quality. People are going to be after it, and it's a 1 for 50 on a non-key, so probably not going to be too many out there. So if you can get your hands on this at or below the ratio value, that might be a good call. Along with this one, sort of a 8B, I guess you could say, is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 114, the FOC Reveal variant, which is, I believe, a Norman Rockwell homage to this classic painting, photo, drawing thing here. I don't know what it originally was, but yeah, there you go. And number 7, we have the X-Men number 141 Facsimile Edition. It's just, classic, mostly the classic cover. It's a classic story, but I think the cover's classic. It's been homaged to heck, just like that ASM 300. I don't know why I was thinking about the next book already. Alright, moving on to number 6, and we have Carnage number 1, and this one is, there's not really a key, but it's the number 1, and it's supposed to go into the next Venom epic, so there could be some key events, there could be some cameos of new characters that could have a first appearance coming in. So it took me a sec to kind of figure out how I wanted to say that, but yeah, so there's Carnage number 1. It's a little low because there's, again, nothing is for sure, but it could, and yeah, there you go. Number 5, we have American Psycho number 1, second printing. This is the Patrick Bateman film still variant, and again, you know how I feel about these photo variants where if you see someone, you can get them to sign it for you, and this is a second printing of a book that I don't think was very hot. So probably not too many people are going to be getting this second print. And there was a cover, a photo cover for the number 1 first print. So I think it might be neat to get that one and this one and have them sign both. But moving on to number 4, we have Daredevil Black Armor number 1. This is the 1 for 25 Grassetti variant. And this is just more stories placed in the run, I think in the 90s, when this Black Armor was introduced and he had his little run there. This is the 1 for 25, and there is which I think is actually, it reminds me more of the Spider-Man because it's Bagley, the cartoon from the 90s, and I think they pulled a lot of inspiration from the Bagley books for that. But this is the 1 for 100. But I personally would rather have the 1 for 25. I think that's just nicer as far as art goes. Alright, moving on to number 3, we have Marvel Superhero Secret Wars Battle World number 1. So we could, have the MCU. We know it's going into Secret Wars. We think they're going to be doing a Battle World type thing. And this is the homage, but it's the 1-for-100 homage Virgin variant. So that ratio makes this thing, valuable in and of itself. And this particular book talks about connections and missing characters. Reveals secret connections and missing characters. So I don't know if it's new characters or if it's characters that we now know of that they're saying were missing during this time because they weren't created yet or something. I don't know. But whatever that means, there could be some key moments or key factors. There we go. Key factors for this book that could make it worth picking up. And I think if it does, it's gonna hit well. So that's why it's as high as number 3, but it's not number 1 because again, it's a what if. Another one that's along the same lines. It could be really good if it hits, but it probably won't. So that's why it's not number 1. Is The Amazing Spider-Man number 38. So this actually says, can Spider-Man and Wreck-Rap both survive their repulsive repo? The last issue before Gang War. So I haven't read this, and I forget where I read it when I was doing some of these videos. Whether it was my All of November Spec video, I think it was my All of November Spec video that I was doing for this one, or the FOC for this one. So I think this is the first cover appearance of Repo, of Repossessor, but also I don't know that Repo has been in 36 and 37. So this could be, let me know in the comments if you've been in any of the previous books. I know Key Collector says that 36 is the first appearance, but I don't think any of the solicitations in 36 or 37 mention Repo at all. So I know this normally doesn't say like enter the repo or something, but the way it's written, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not the first appearance. So let me know, otherwise this could be the first appearance and cover appearance of this character. And if that's if that's true, then this could definitely be worth being number 2. And if not, then it's not, and that's why it's not number 1. And number 1 is the only true sure spec in the whole list pretty much, and that is The Incredible Hulk number 6, and it is the first appearance of an all-new Ghost Rider, a 100-year-old spirit of vengeance, and a funny little self-realization here. So this guy's clearly from the World War I era, right? And when I first saw the solicitation and saw, oh, it's a 100-year-old spirit of vengeance. So he's from like the 1890s. Guess what, guys? The 90s was not 100 years ago. 1890s was not 100 years ago. 100 years ago was the 1920s. Holy cow. So, yeah, I'm a bit behind, in my head on how time works. So anyway, you got The Incredible Hulk number 6 as my number 1 for next week's new comic book day, and you got your first appearance of a 100-year-old spirit of vengeance, a new Ghost Rider coming down. So there you go. Alright everybody, that's going to go ahead and do it for me in this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, if you could please smash that thumbs up button to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel to see more great comic book and collectible content, and comment down below, let me know what you thought about my top 10 comic picks for next week's new comic book day, November 22nd, 2023. It is the last comic book day before Thanksgiving, so who knows, the kids are off school next week. I'm going also to Disneyland next week, so if I don't have time to get a new video out, please have a great and safe Thanksgiving, and I will see you all either next week or the week after. And again, thanks again for checking out this video, but until next time, bye.